Hi, and my name is Jörgen Holland, and thank you for finding my tutorial, and I hope this will help you. In this tutorial I want to show you how to make your own shortcuts in Cinema 4D. If you are familiar with actions in Photoshop, this does more or less the same thing. We are using Python. Don't be scared, this is pretty easy stuff. We are going to use Python to make scripts and create shortcuts to our interface. So let's first open Python. I set it up already. So I have docked the script manager. You find the script manager up in extensions, script manager, and then also console is really good to have. You can also open the script log, and that will give you some hints about what's happening. So first, here we have a lot of text. It's the typical hello world. We don't need anything of this. I just delete that. You will find this in the description below. First, we need a way that this is picking up an object. So we have here in the scene, we have a rectangle. This rectangle has a close spline off. So what I want to do is to hit that button and use the script to do that. So if I now copy paste the first command, but be aware in Python the indents is really important. It tells when the different commands are being played off when you hit execute. So now if I hit execute, this will not work. I will get an error message called indential error. If you get this, you need to move the code a little bit. If I give that an indent, this problem will go away. So what have we done here? We have done that this is a new category called objects. I want this to work with many objects. So then I have doc.GetActiveObjects, and I also need to set 1 here. So I can just copy this also, and so it's visible. So now what do we want to do? We want to hit the close spline. Then we need a new code that called for obj in objects. So this is talking with that function that you have named yourself. And since these are going to talk with other stuff, it needs a new indent to work. So what do we want to know? If I move this close spline over to this window, we can see that this is a rectangle, that's the name. Also, this is the function that we want to use. Sin for the spline object closed. This is an object, so we need to say I have an object, and then I can copy what's inside the rectangle, and then in scripting everything goes from 0 and upwards. So if something is off, often it's 0 or to the left. So in this case I want to say that this is 0, but we are not finished. We need to say to Cinema 4D that we are now happy with the code and update, please. Then we need to hit an event add. This is really case sensitive. Large letters has to be large. Now we can try this. Hit execute. That didn't work. So 0 is turning it off and 1 is turning it on. So what more can we do? We can, for instance, extrude this object. Then we use a new command, and that is called the call command. It's like a button click in Cinema 4D. Before we can do that, we need to say to the object, hey object, I want to use you one more time. And if you open the script log, and I know, if I now hold in Alt or Option, I can put in Extrude. Then we see that we have a new call command called 5116. We can copy that one and add it here. So if I now go back, hit off the close spline, here you also see the different commands. Okay. And before we can end this, we need an Cinema 4D event add. So I copy that, paste that, but set it on the same indent. So now if I execute and hold Alt or Option, then we have created rectangles that are closing the spline. We are hitting an extrude. But now we also want to change the offset on this extrude. So then we are hitting undo again. So let's see and open the close spline. So in here, in between the event add, we can get a new GetActiveObjects. So I now again say, hey, do the thing you are supposed to do. And I can copy the code from 4 objects, but this has to be something else. So in this case, we need the offset code. So I can add it here, or just copy it from the script log when I have that open. So in this case, I want everything from here to there, and this is at 0, and then I'm closing it with an event add already, so I don't need that. And then I undo again. So let's execute this. I got an indent error, so I need to move 4 it executes. Remember to hold Alt or Option. So then I now got an offset at 0, I got an extrude, and I got a rectangle that is closing its spline. So what more can we do? This can be repeated, of course, with different functions. For instance, I also want every extrude to do a remesh. So in that case, the remesh is called something way longer. So the only thing I need to do is I can just make it a bit easier for me to understand where things are starting and ending. So I just write the hashtag and extrude. After that, I can write remesh and then copy everything inside there. And copy the whole thing here, change the extrude part to remesh, and in this case I want a new change that to poly count, then a poly count of 2000. So then here we have the poly count mode, This is also going to be 0 because that's a left button. So these two buttons are related. So that's a 0. And we can also add another function that can be used. For instance, I don't want adaptiveness, so I change that to 0. So I can copy that from the script log 2 and keep the object. And then there are going to be an event add saying to Cinema 4D, I'm done with this script. So if anybody knows how to be a bit more efficient with my code, write that to me. But this is working for me now. You can create scripts, really easy scripts. So I hold Alt or Option, and then it goes through the script and it executes everything, changing the polygon mode, adding the 0 adaptiveness. The next part is to save this. So I'm going to save as, just call this tutorial. Now I want this also as a button, because maybe I want to do this every time I have a spline, check it that it's closed, and then add a new extrude and also a remesh. Right click here, use customize palettes, and then I can search for tutorial and add that to my screen, and then click, hold Alt or Option and click. So that's an easy way to create scripts. If anybody has any cool ways to simplify this, or I have missed something, as long as this is working, this is the most important part for me. So I hope this can also help you to create simple scripts. Have a good day and bye bye.